Priorities, right? No. I'll make a call probably in the middle of this and just hopefully step away from the mic. But I wanted to cast this game because it was fun, and there's some points here I want to grab. So I tried to make sure. As soon as my computer, poor computer, it's running at its capacity. It's literally, I'm maxing out the RAM. This makes me wonder. I always wonder. Do like certain like antivirus sites like create viruses just to so that they can have their services? I don't know, or other things. Cool. All right, full screen. There we are. I mean, it seems like it'd be in their interest to create viruses. Me. So we have Seawall, Battle Droid, myself, Mustache, Vitamin C, and Heretic. Heretic's one of ours. When I say one of ours, one of the better ones. Alright, Vitamin C is setting up here on the ramp. Nice job. I'm over here, and I did something different this game, and I'm excited about it. When Marines were talking about it in the Discord how Marines were useless, I'm like, they're not. So I'm starting out here with just getting some snipers. I wanted to get some people in bunkers, be ready to batten down the hatches, you know. That's actually not too Seawall. Oh, there you go. And then I'm making in some stuff for armor there. I see he's getting Cyclops grunts. So this is when I switch. You notice on the production tab, I'm now making Marines everywhere because they're cheap enough I can do that, and they are the hard counter to Cyclops grunts. So I just didn't want to have to produce on another planet. That's not the best use of resources, but it was cheap enough. It didn't phase me in this build here. So I'm pumping out Marines on every planet, and getting ready for these backup grunts drops. And now I'm over here and I'm pumping out some Kodiaks. Yeah, so I've got them rallied to all the places here. Ah, good analysis there, Seawall. Yeah, that's a good eye. You're right. Pay attention to that. Yeah, you mentioned check. You know, that's obvious. Suggest at least that that's coming. So here, pause. That's not us. That should be Heretic. Yeah, it's Heretic scanning, and he sees. Oh, there's units here. Cool. Yeah, I did notice that. So, yeah, we're noticing the same things. Cool. And I threw in some warthogs here. So this right here will shred white. Warthogs are incredibly effective against that, and the Marines are too. They're just a little not as tanky, you know. So now we have, double my brain, double the bow, right? And it's diversified. So some of it's more armored, or I don't know how it's defined, but they're varied in their unit type. So it's hope is beneficial. I should pause to check that real quick. If I stay awake, maybe I won't have time for a date. Light, armored, mechanical. That's light and armored. And this is light and biological. Yeah, okay. You know, I was really looking forward to playing some more games, but I stopped myself because dates. I don't know what you all saw there, but he saw something. Where did you drop off the units? You didn't drop off any units. You just warped out. Alright, this is the first build here, the first attack. I see him coming in. So those are the Cyclops grunts running on the ground. And snipers, I mean, since they had the bunker advantage there, you see what happens without the bunker? They get cleaned up, shredded. But, there we go. And now I'm pushing in. And I don't want to push into that because that's full of jackals. And he's got some. Oh, he did drop on me. Hot dropped him. There we go. He's got some of those left. So he hands them to me. I didn't notice, even though because I did an all check. I thought he was giving me like some. If I had clicked, I was gonna click that marine because I thought it was damaged. It's actually a Spartan 3. But I didn't notice he gave me a Spartan 3. I was just like, oh, he gave me stuff. Oh, I do heal it. I just didn't register it as Spartan 3. Right. Oh yeah, but I think I actually start doing that anyways right now. So the build from here is pretty simple. Mass those Kodiaks. That's about it. The way Harvest is set up now is even stronger, especially with the drop mechanic being changed. It's even better. So they could try to counter this by hot dropping. They could try to counter this by getting Banshees and Air. Let me check this. They could try to counter this by put it to everyone. This is a great move here. Notice that? So Seawall's coming in, trying to help me spot, and then that's an innovative build there. Throwing out. Well, we'll just throw out those. The fighters there to spot. And he's coming here, massing these locusts is a good counter as well. They do match each other in range, so I can pew you right back, and I've been making nothing but Kodiaks, like reduction tab, Kodiaks. Well, only one right now. No, there we go, another 4. That's all I'm making right now. Gonna deal with ground, and since Seawall's in the air, I know he's a good navy, well enough navy, proficient enough that I won't be getting steamrolled. So I'm letting him do that. And then right here I'm pumping out him some Marines and Snipers just for the damage and the tankiness. So if he comes up with me anything, now if he just came in with Hunters, he could probably tank up there and take it out, but with a ball of Marines and Snipers right in front of you, those Hunters aren't going to make it. So I'm happy to just sit here. And, where are my resources at? I have enough. I'm not spending right now. That's an oops. What am I doing? I don't know what I was doing, but I'm black. I don't know what I was doing there for those few seconds. So I did have some AA set up already, because when I set up this position, yes, there's that AA. I missed myself building that. But set that up to protect against some glassing. Granted, something big could take that, but I wanted that there. With that scan was helpful, even though it's just on the edge there, so maybe not, but there's anything close there. And I'm setting up AA to defend these Kodiaks, and the Kodiaks themselves, and if you sort of would hear to everyone, those still loaded. Oh, wait, Seawall. What's up, Seawall? Seawall, he's number 1. Yeah. That's going to become. Someone's going to grab that audio clip, aren't they? Use it everywhere. So with the scans there, maybe they bail, and if they're going to bail out of those there, then I'm just going to move on in with my units. Oh, look at that! Hang on, let's check Seawall again. What do we got coming here? Some fighters. They're going to picked off. Cool. So Harvest is. We're making some ground here on Harvest. And this is definitely footage I want to use for the army video, I think. Once I actually make it. Assuming I actually make it. I had to set these Marines up here so they could spot the high ground. And call it back to the Kodiaks, essentially. Oh, yeah, he was asking me to try to get some sergeants for that, and I was like, oh, yeah, that was a good point. I was thinking, so I get a few. That wasn't what the idea was. It was just for the meat shield. So the Kodiaks were the DPS. The Marines were just don't reach the Kodiaks. It's kind of very very Imperial Guard. Just throw bodies at them. A little bad, but accurate. And production tab, I am making a Hornet. That's right, I misclicked a couple. I forgot what hotkey LC was, but I was trying to make something else. Oh, the Sergeant, that's what I was making. I just around the ground grabbed the wrong hotkey. Alright, things are looking great. We're making progress here on Harvest. Another, 16 Kodiaks. It's healthy.
This I find you don't have money for this many Kodiaks if you're getting rockets and snipers that cost more. Um, or ODSTs, which is another common one. ODSTs are very common. Oh, we gotta build, we gotta fight in space. Oh, it's watching everything but the fight. Cool. He's pulling back, he's pulling back. Losing a carrier. That's a rough pick there. Alright. Meanwhile, oh, so that's a great play by this Navy. If you notice that Code Navy, as soon as he wins the fleet fight, he goes straight to help the ground. Great play there. He's going to come right on over. If you watch the orbit there, so you see that he's flying over from from Earth. Flew past. You could see Reach picked him up real quick, and here they are. And so I was just trying to secure this. So I started building AA to keep a hold of it. Let's see if we can. There we go. They scanned me. I saw it. Oh, I was like, oh, they're here. That's not good. So I've got to. Thankfully, those are all Marines, so they took so little time and little effort to make. He had just lost all of those, but got 2 nukes off, and now he's in range of itself from AA. So, and the AA was just finishing off. You know, it was the nick of time, just in the nick of time. So we're setting up here, holding down on this, and I was like, okay, I got it from here. We're gonna be good. It's true. We lost both Navy, and Oni were cleaned up. I was like, they're like, you're on your own now. I was like, okay. I'm pretty sure I had it here, but look at that. Such a great drop by the Elites player there. Energy swords, fuel rods, decimated all those Kodiaks. Wasn't a chance. This is all they were supporting were Marines, not like a ball of snipers. They are hardly thinned out at all. And the Brutes had something to back that there, so they're coming on in. There's some random Hornets I had floating around. I wasn't sure why I had those, but I did. Excuse me for a second. I might need to step out real quick, Nicole. Now, with these teams working together, one faction has difficulty standing up against 2. There are cases where that's not the case, where the odds isn't true, but here they're cleaning up. And right, the last second, it's going to drop. I actually, if you look it up, I'm already making SCVs on other planets, and then there they come. Oh, those. Green clad. Whew. Yeah, not much else for me to say here. Just for you to watch it out here. I grabbed him a couple medics since that's what I had there to support the team. So I was on the fly, so I grabbed some medics to heal up his Spartans there, so he can get back into combat. Oh, I misunderstood this when he first said it. I thought he was saying, "Is this going into one of your montages?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, well, probably it's going in." I didn't realize he meant like that was his plan. Anyways, now I wanted to see just I spammed a bunch of medics. I want to keep them alive. So I was like, what if I just made nothing but medics? I just spammed nothing but medics to keep those Spartans alive. And he goes. I forgot the medics have magnums, so you gotta keep them pulled back here. But yeah, that's just that. I mean, that is a not a critical mass, but it serves. The analogy serves. You know, it's just that's just a mass of Spartans you just can't stand. Again, it's not with what he has there. Now, if he had just threw Jack without him, maybe. But
Pew. And he gets that's some excellent micro there. Battle Droid has a he could okay, future is the wrong term. He has a future at this. No, but like he can tangle with the best of them.
He's improved tremendously since I first seen him start playing, and I'm proud of that. Not that I've been the one that made that happen. I mean, I've helped, but it's not. The credit goes to him for learning because I've taught a lot of people, and he learned, and he adapted to effective play styles. I've tried teaching a lot of people, I should say. So you could say he's figured out on his own. Okay, fine. But yeah, let's see. Leech come in and try to counter that. That's about equal numbers there, but shotguns aren't. Not with beam rifles versus shotguns there. And I think, to be honest, that might actually have been a good shot to go for there. Beam rifles are best if you keep them at distance. All right, Harvest is falling, and Seawall's back on his feet. He's gotten some. Did I mention to him yet? No, I haven't mentioned that to him yet. Oh, what was I going to say? I wrote it down in the chat in this game. I forgot I had a better quote. Sometimes you have these games where it's just you feel like, man, things just work out. You know, you're reading the information right. You're adapting. You don't win every fight necessarily, but you're you're woke. No, that's not the term you want to go with. Your mind is lit, enlightened, whatever the state is. You know, you're in a state of pure focus, purity, whatever you might say. Oh yeah, the Sergeant Johnson quote as I was talking about. Dear, we regret to apologies accepted. Okay. Now this is that was a great moment. I'm glad I have that caught on camera. This was a great point here. Yeah, so that was a build. It was effective, and Marines aren't useless. In fact, they actually let me win a game, and it wasn't like it was a brand new player. Heretic is actually one of the better Roots players that's out there, at least in his own mind, and there's some merit to that. So, just nothing but Kodiaks and Marines. I mean, there's other things in there, but you just sometimes you get this state of mind where you're like, okay, things are firing right, and you're doing all right. Sweet. That was a pretty scary looking fleet, though. We haven't been winning the fleet fight this game, but if you look at that, oof, he's got all the Spartans. He's been spending his money incredibly well this game. Look at the active resources, active forces. He has twice what I have in active forces. No, almost 3 times what I have in active forces. He's not goofing around, and those are all Spartans in active forces. They're not like Kodiaks, you know. Right now, all I have are Marines floating around. To be fair, I held the line, so that could happen. And this was the part I got excited about. And I had my own little Spirit of Fire moment. The new support cruiser, the Spirit of Fire update, I'm going to call it. It's a nice one. It's definitely swung things in the favor, I think, for the army to go offensive at least. Before Army could turtle, they could really turtle. Now they have some more offensive options. This is the only upgrade I got all game. I was like, I should get an upgrade. Plus, let's look at that. That looks so good. The model looks really good. I remember I first saw it, I was a little frustrated, mostly because I was losing to it, not playing using it. But got to set up here. Just a little outpost, with the Spear of Fire there, setting up a forward base. I don't know. This has a very much Halo Wars vibe to it, and I enjoyed it. Start pumping out some elephants so I can get some ground troops here. And all right, how about make another funny compilation? Yeah. Go down and slay.
Gives me angry. I'm sorry, droid. I didn't know that. We can talk about why. There might be a good reason, might not be a very good reason. And if there's not, then no point in hurting yourself that way. So I was originally going to save up for a little bit more effective units, because Marines and Kodiaks or Scorpions aren't the most effective way to take a planet like this. They're not going to do the most damage against buildings, but since they're attacking, I'm like, well, they don't have any forces to respond with. They're not going to stop attacking to come over here and clean this up. So I just let it go, and I'm rolling. And I just realized that too. That's a pretty expensive factory, to be fair, but could you imagine like landing on a planet with like 4 support cruisers and producing 8 Kodiaks at a time? Ooh, not that you have. I mean, you have the funds to support that kind of a thing, but as a forward base kind of aggressive option, that's really good. And that's true to Terran form. The UNSC is really good at turtling. That's what they do. So this is made setting up a beachhead even more. Now you don't have to worry about building. You have to wait for all the long time to build a factory, and the cost of a factory for the same cost of the thing that you use to get to the planet. You can not only build elephants but also Kodiaks on site. And you get to just pump out all the units. So thankfully, I didn't see him asking. Did you also know? I found this out. The Navy can build Banshees. I mean, it makes sense, but the Covenant Navy, I just never done that. This was a sad moment. I noticed. I thought this was going to happen too. As soon as I jumped, I was like, they're probably just going to be waiting there to pick me up because the ring disappeared. And I was like, I'll just jump in there anyways. I was hoping maybe they wouldn't be, and then I could try to take the ring. I was thinking about starting up here in the top right corner, top left corner, sorry, of there, and setting up a similar forward outpost. So that's what I set up here. Good play there on his part too. That was well thought out. He got a bunch of jackals and put them on up there, but it wasn't enough. Apparently, scorpions do splash now, which is nice. And this was a test. This was a test of the encampment of the Spirit of Fire. The cool thing about these replays, you can bounce around if you have a mouse, which I don't. But you can bounce around between all the different points of view, and see more what's going on. And when you're playing the game, you can still see a fair bit, but there's 3 people going at once, and all at the same time. So I was sitting here just trying to stay focused on my little part of it. Now I could just have shift clicked these in and checked over some other places, But, they came and they found me. They even have the high ground.
So I'm setting up being very turtly. There it is. Oh, that's beautiful. You want to see navies? Look right here. Ask me for the replay. I can send it to you. I don't think he jumped right on top of him, but that was impressive there. Oh, I didn't realize he asked that. The reason why that works, because the triple max do massive damage, and so do the fighters. So if you just gone with one, you wouldn't have one or the other wouldn't have cut it. Not, but a mixture with this much. Uh, okay. And the other thing too, if you remember this match, he was underneath. He was an underdog most of this match. He was losing fleet fights. Those shotties are doing way more damage than I think they should be against the building. Oh no! Ah, I missed it. I missed it. I can't just reuse the same meme sounds. I was thinking about using the sad violin right there. That's where the game ends. It's with the loss of the spirit of fire. Cool. Too late now. I can't ask. Sorry, I was thinking about asking this person, but I can't now. It's too short of notice. I've thought about it all week too. Ooh, I have been added in the Discord. Oh, by Game Bobby. It's always sad. I get excited. I'm like, oh, someone asked me. Oh, someone asked me a question. Oh, StarCraft is no longer responding. There you go. Hmm. You know what? I'm going for it. It's late notice, and I'll apologize for the late notice, but I'm gonna ask her. I hope you enjoyed that stream. I know it wasn't my best one. I've been thinking of other things, but